Hi, guys. I'm so excited tonight. I am here with Nick Diakanastasis.
Yeah.
I got it right, Nick.
Yeah.
After murdering it this morning, I don't know who saw my live, but I murdered Nick's last name, which I have to apologize.
No, you don't
But
have to.
Nick
Yeah.
is this amazing public speaking coach that actually did my Boomerang Your Business course back in when we started in November. And since then, I've actually January started actually working with Nick too as a on the public speaking thing, because that's not always my big forte. But anyway, so hi, I'm Heidi from Talk to Heidi. I'm a 25 plus year business owner and visibility coach. And I'm here with Nick tonight, where we are going to be talking about why not creating your content your way leads to frustration and boredom. So, hi, Nick. Thanks for being with us.
Hey, Heidi. Thank you for having me.
And do you want to introduce yourself? Tell
You
us a
kind
little
of
bit.
did, but yeah, so well, I'm Nick, a half Greek, half Swiss public speaking coach, which basically means that I used to be an actor. I went to drama school, did the whole classical training, and then I decided that I don't really want to do this anymore, both because I don't enjoy being in the spotlight and because I don't enjoy being broke. And as an actor, you usually get both. And now I'm using the skills that I picked up at drama school to coach business owners and leaders on how to speak in front of their audience and do it well and not sell themselves short, hopefully.
Yes, that's one thing I love about you. So Nick has a different technique than most public speaking coaches I know. All the other ones I've talked to, and I've never quite resonated with them. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm all about mindset,
I'm
but
not.
well, that's just it. Nick is about the actions to take to make you look great in front of people. So that was one thing that really resonated with me, because for me, public speaking has been scary for a really long time. So Nick makes you look good, whether you're still scared inside or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to feel confident and comfortable, but it's not necessary. I think that's one of the biggest myths when it comes to public speaking. And when people think public speaking, they might just think TED Talks or something of that, or, press conferences. And that's really not it. That's not all it is limited to. Public speaking just means you're speaking to an audience. So what we're doing now is public speaking. If you do videos for your social media to promote your business, that's public speaking. If you do guest appearances on podcasts or virtual summits, if you do webinars or workshops online, all of that is public speaking. So I really like to get technical, as you not figured out, but felt for yourself during our training. And I like to focus on doing stuff as opposed to feeling stuff. That's one of the biggest misconceptions out there, that you need to feel confident and that you need to feel this or that. Yeah, as you said, the difference between me and a lot of other public speaking coaches is that I don't really focus much on mindset, because I do think that performing, and public speaking is a way of performing, is about doing. By and large, it's something you do. It's not something that you feel or think or believe. So I think this is one of the biggest myths out there, if I can do some myth busting about public speaking, is that you need to sort out your mindset, or that this is the number one thing that matters. It's not really something that you need. It's a nice to have in my book. And it's something that often settles itself once you actually learn the actionable technical stuff. But it's not something that you need, or that you need to focus on first and foremost. Like at the end of our working together, you did feel more confident, and that was largely because, well, you knew that you could do it, because you learned a bunch of new tricks that you could apply. So I think the mindset kind of comes afterwards, but focusing on that for me is a bit like trying to reverse engineer it, and it doesn't work. It's a bit like, I don't know, spray painting your lawn green and hoping that this is gonna make it healthy. It's like, no, the lawn is green because it's healthy. It's not healthy because it's green.
Yeah, but you just said something really important there. The mindset comes after doing the action and the practice. I agree with you. I mean, let's be honest. Fake it till you make it is exactly that.
People don't like to hear oh no, you shouldn't fake it. I don't believe in that. I think it really depends on what you're faking. If you're faking skill, definitely don't do that. Like, you don't make promises that you can't keep. But faking confidence,
Agreed.
sometimes you need to. Like, I don't think that the audience has a right to know that you're scared.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm also not a fan of the fake it until you make it. But at the same time, let's be honest, we all have to learn somewhere. And when you're just starting out, I mean, I'm not saying go out and sell a skill you don't have.
Yeah.
But yes, to be confident or something. I mean, just think about learning to walk as a kid. I mean, you fall, you fall, you fall, you get up, you keep doing it, you keep doing it until you do it. And then you're confident finally that you do it.
Yeah.
You have those shaky steps, but you can see the mindset of a child grow as the more confident. And it's the same with us.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so that is what I love about you though on that is, and that really resonated with me, is because it was about the actions, because I've worked on mindset for years around this and haven't gotten anywhere with it. So you're right, by the end of the 5 weeks we worked together, that I was feeling way more confident. Which brings me to confidence for you. With Boomerang Your Business, we were working on your marketing and trying to make it more comfortable for you, because this comes along with just with the public speaking thing and everything. You were writing content you feel like you needed people here to attract your ideal clients, which included some of the mindset stuff, because so many experts and coaches had told you that you needed to do it.
Yeah. That was a big fiasco. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was before we started working together. But I did try to include a mindset module in my 5-week course, and that was an absolute disaster. Because I was trying to sell something that A, I don't like, B, I don't believe in, and it was just an absolute disaster. And then the content, until not too long ago, it was like pulling teeth for me, because I kept thinking, okay, so what does my ideal client need to hear? Let's write or shoot that on video. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the equation, right? You can't not care about what your audience needs to hear. But at the same time, if you're only posting stuff that you really don't like and you don't believe in, not believe in, that's a bit strong. But if you're only posting to post because some guru told you you need to show up 5 times a week or whatever, no excuses, and you just keep posting for the sake of posting, it's just not going to work. And it wasn't working for me. I was so exhausted. I was posting all the damn time, and it was still like pulling teeth. Like, I actually get more leads now and more consistently, even though I post usually 3 times a week, as opposed to every day and sometimes twice a day.
Yeah, and see, that's huge. You're actually posting less.
Yeah.
You're spending less time online, less time creating content you didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
But you're getting more leads.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really clicked for me is that you said that if what you're doing is not helping, it's not working, then doing more of that is also not going to work. Like, the right client is going to connect to the right content. If what you're posting is by default just falling flat and it's not resonating with people the way that it needs to, bombarding them with more and more of that bullshit, of that crap, is just not going to do much.
It's not going to. It's going to leave you frustrated, bored, upset. I mean, not wanting to do any of this stuff, because why would you want to? If you say you're posting content, it's like pulling teeth. I mean, who likes to go to the freaking dentist?
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted to pull teeth, I'd go to the dentist. I wouldn't go on LinkedIn to do that. But yeah, I'm definitely relieved that this phase of my career is over, that I can actually post stuff that I enjoy and not be on LinkedIn all day, but still get leads and get clients.
Yeah, and it works. And the reason, I know you're not as big of a believer in this, but the energy and the thoughts that you're putting out when you create that content, if you're creating content you hate, you don't want to put it out, and you're just posting it because you need to post it, you should post it.
Yeah.
People know. It does come through. Like I said, I know that's not your biggest belief, but I do know that, and I think it's because of you're not in it when you write it. You're writing it because you have to, not because you're in it, not because you believe. I mean, it's not saying you don't believe in it, because it's obviously stuff you believe with, but if it doesn't resonate with you,
well, I believe in my work, but I don't believe in the content that I'm posting, and I don't enjoy posting it. So I don't know if they're going to pick up on it. For me, it's more of a case of content just for the sake of content tends to not connect because it's just not juicy enough. It's not enjoyable enough. It's not helpful enough. It's just oh God, it's X o'clock and I need to post today. I still haven't posted. Okay, what can I quickly like fart out and post out onto the internet just so I can say that I've done it? If it becomes just a tick the box exercise, it just gets really shallow and blah, and people can't really connect to it.
Exactly, because you're doing it because you should do it, not because you want to do it. And that's not going to resonate with anyone, much less you. So I know a big thing we worked on with that was actually having you speak directly to your ideal client, even though it wasn't the right types of content for them. And when we've talked last, you said you were definitely getting more interaction because of that, more engagement.
I mean, more engagement doesn't necessarily mean more leads, but in my case, it did, thankfully. But yeah, it is easier to write with someone in mind, which I guess after you said it, it makes sense because that's how I shoot my videos anyway, and that's how I appear in public when I do public speaking as well. I think, well, you do need to talk to someone. Like there's someone behind that screen or behind that lens, and you need to keep that in mind. But when I was writing, I wasn't really doing that. I was just posting stuff, and it wasn't really aiming at someone in particular. It was more like, hey, anyone who might be interested in my services, as opposed to, hey, you. Someone who's just like Heidi or someone who's just like me before the acting school.
Yeah, and as we know, not niching to your ideal client, I like to say spray it everywhere in the hopes it's going to land doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because yes, you get a lot. I get this objection a lot, and they're like, "Oh, well, my product and service could work for anyone." It's like, well, yeah, everybody could need some form of public speaking. In your case, using you as the example. But does everybody want it, or does everybody want it from you, or anything like that? So if you target your ideal client, then it's easier for you to help them get wins. They'll see success so much faster. All of this stuff because you targeted them directly instead of trying to just pull whoever out of the wind that happened to see. What it is that worked.
Yeah, it definitely became easier. So I'm thankful about that because not all of us enjoy marketing. Like some people, they enjoy social media in general. Like you get a lot of these gurus who tell you that, oh, you need to show up every day, no excuses, blah, blah, blah. And most of the time, just by watching them, they seem like super extroverted people who would probably be on social media every day anyway, even if it wasn't for business. They might just be posting about different stuff, but they would still be there every day. They'd just be on Instagram showing their like beach photos or their breakfast photos or their gym photos, and they would still just be very active on social media. And they think that, oh, promoting your business on social media, it's just same old, just with a bit more shop talk. And it's not for all of us. For some of us, it's not more of the same. It's a completely different, uncomfortable thing. Some of us don't enjoy being on social media. So we really needed to, when we were talking about what I'm going to do with my life, with my business, we really needed to figure out how to get the most effect for the least amount of effort. Because I told you pretty much from the get-go, I'm not going to spend ages on social media. I'm not doing that. I don't care if I should.
Well, no, and that's a big thing about even my type of coaching is I don't think you should be online so much. I think it's very detrimental to your business, your mental health, your everything. And even more so for someone like you that works more from an introverted point of view, that needs more space and less screen time. And that was a big thing. And that's what I love about working with everybody is the differences in opinion. Yeah, I've got some extroverts that are absolutely, yes, they want to be online all the time. And then I get to work with somebody like you who doesn't. Yeah. And so finding that strategy, that balance that works for you, because my strategy is not going to work for you. Because while I'm a mix between introvert and extrovert, I like my offline time. I do enjoy some of my online time too, because I enjoy the networks I've built. But I really need some time away too. But not to the extent that you do.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing that really stuck out because I've done a bunch of these group business courses, whatever they want to call themselves, courses, masterminds, blah, blah, blah. And the one thing that really stuck out about Boomerang Your Business is that you are the only one who actually took the person's personality into account. It's like, finally, someone who's not telling me you need to shop 10 times a day, every day, no excuses, blah, blah, blah. Or telling me, have you followed the exact method that I prescribed to the T? Because otherwise it's your fault if it fails. I'm like, that's not how it works. You might fail just because it's not the right thing for me. It's not because I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not going to work. And me trying to force my strategy on you, you would definitely fail.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work for you.
Yeah.
Or my other client, Beth, I mean, she's even beyond me on how much she posts.
Yeah.
Compared to me. And her strategy wouldn't work for me because of that. And same with you. I mean, I'm with you. I've worked with coaches and clients who are coaches and experts who want to just continue cramming that onto you. I mean, I had one that wouldn't even review your stuff if you didn't follow her exact formula. And it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for everyone. And then I think even if for a short amount of time it works for, let's say, it's never going to work for everyone. But let's say even if it works for most people, TikTok, it's only going to work for most people for a certain amount of time until it catches on. And then once you start blending in with everyone again, because everyone's doing it, then it's not going to work anymore.
Yep. Which is why you need your strategy. Because it's the only, if you work with your schedule, your personality, the way you want to work, your ideal clients, because that's a big thing too, is we take it back. Boomerang Your Business completely takes everything back to the foundation, to where we look at your business, your goals, your offer, your ideal client, your schedule even. Because a lot of people like to think work-life balance is the biggest myth out there. Your business is part of your life. They're not separate. So you learn to work the two together.
Yeah.
And life is so much easier. But a lot of people are like, oh, this is only business time. This is my personal time. And then they feel guilty if they think about business during playing with the kids at the playground or something. And why should you? That's when innovation pops, ideas pop.
Yeah.
If you learn to work the two together, which is what we even did with you, because 3 times a week is great for you showing up.
Yeah. And then eventually I might scale it if my social stamina, let's say, goes up, or, once I figure out what kind of content works for me. And that's what I really enjoyed, that you had me scale back. And I was like, oh, but this is such a bad idea. I'm already posting like 100 million times a week and it's not working. I can't afford to scale down. And you were like, you pretty much have to scale down, because if it's not working, then it's not going to work no matter how many times you do it. So you need to figure out what works first, and then you can increase the frequency.
Yeah, no, you just said something key there too, was build your stamina up. You cannot get online. Well, you were already posting a lot, so your stamina was there, but it wasn't working. And look what's happened scaling back. You're actually doing more with less, because you're more targeted. You've got more thought in it. You're doing what you enjoy it now a lot more. I mean, I know that you don't love it.
I mean, I'm never gonna love being on social media. That's just the truth. And this has nothing to do with you. It just is what it is. I'm a huge introvert. I will never enjoy marketing or showing up on social media. But if we can do it the comparatively least painful way, and if it's not like pulling teeth, so when I actually publish content, I feel like, oh, that was fun to write, or that was fun to shoot, and I'm actually happy and proud to let that out into the world, as opposed to, oh, here we go again, another bit of bullshit that I have to post because I have to post something. Like, no, if I don't want to post, I'm not going to post. I'm going to post when I have something to say.
Yeah, and I love that. And I've seen a difference in your content. I mean, even your last recorded the video, oh my God, I laughed. I shared that. It just was funny.
Yeah, I was like, this is what I want to post. This is what I'm going to post now.
But look how many people resonated with that too, because I saw some of the comments and people just enjoying that. And it's because you had fun with it.
Yeah, I need to have fun with it, because I think what a lot of these gurus don't understand, who are super dogmatic, and they say, you need to do it my way, exactly as that. That's just not how human beings work. people aren't going to keep doing something that they hate doing.
Yeah.
Long term. They might be able to force themselves. If they have some discipline, they might be able to temporarily force themselves. But at some point, you do run out of willpower. That's not a moral failure. It's just because you're human, and nobody has an indefinite amount of willpower. Infinite amount of willpower. And no one, including those gurus, they tell you, oh, get outside of your comfort zone. But a lot of times they are operating from deep within their comfort zone and patronizing you. Like, they enjoy showing up on social media. They enjoy attention and interaction. Then they tell you, oh, if I can manage to show up every day, you should be able to do it too. I'm like, yeah, but you enjoy it and I hate it. It's not the same. You doing exactly what you want is not the same as me beating myself to do something that I don't. Of course, I'm going to run out of steam before you do.
Yeah. And not only that, I mean, if you hate it, you're not going to be consistent with it. And if you're not consistent with it, you're not going to succeed because you can't build authority and trust without being consistent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other big thing that I got out of Boomerang Your Business is that for the past few months, I've been consistent. I've not been, endlessly trawling LinkedIn, but I have been consistent. I'm not on there a huge amount, but I can manage to keep it up.
Yeah, and that's what's important, is you're still showing up, and you're showing up regularly. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
In that case, that's all that matters. And people trust you, they see you, you're getting leads, so it's working.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
If you decide to ramp it up later, that's your decision. But as it is, what you're doing is working. I think as you continue dialing in your content, that you may not need to ramp it up anymore.
Yeah, I mean, after a certain point, I might have enough content that I can repurpose. But even repurposing doesn't work if the content doesn't work. You can post the same thing over and over, but now I feel like I have like an archive of solid content that you helped me create that I can post. I'm creating more content than I used to before, where I was just reposting a lot, and it works in theory, but not if the content doesn't work fundamentally.
Well, and you have another advantage too, because you don't like to be online as much. So once your content starts nailing it completely, which you're already getting there, you'll be able to consider ads, which will take your time off anyway, because once you have nailing content, it's no big deal to drop some ad money because it'll increase your visibility tomorrow, and yet you don't need to be online to do it.
Yeah, that was the key for me. It was like, I don't want to be on LinkedIn all the time. I don't want to. And the other big thing, I don't know if, can we talk about this? The other big thing is that I told you that I'm not really one of those like super soft, emotional, effusive people. So I was like, because you keep hearing, oh, people buy based on emotion. You have to hit them with the emotion first and the logic comes second. I was like, yeah, but it's great, but I don't really naturally talk this way. I almost felt like I have to show up as someone I'm not and be this super effusive, like, oh my God.
No.
Like unicorns and rainbows and softness. I'm like, look, I'm just not that soft around the edges. And I don't want to apologize for that. I think it's okay to be direct and to be more factual as opposed to emotional and woo-woo.
And what did I tell you on that?
Yeah, you're like, yeah, it's fine. You don't have to show up and be like, oh my God,
no,
my heart, my unicorn, my rainbows. Yeah.
Your content with your voice, your messaging. You're not going to appeal to everybody. You're not going to appeal to the people that want the rainbows and soft edges. Fine. But in reality, that's probably not who you want to work with anyway.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter because good content attracts the right people, repels the wrong people.
Exactly. I mean, do you remember after we had this conversation about my content, and I posted, I think, my first post when you said, just write it exactly as you would say it.
Yep.
Remember, pretty much the next day I slid into your messages and was like, ooh, the woo-woo brigade is upset. They're already showing up in my content and cooking up a stink. It was like, that's how I know it's working, because it's actively agitating. Not that I'm on a mission to agitate people, but if I can see it's actively agitating the people who are the polar opposite of who I want to work with, I'm like, that's how I know I hit a nerve.
Yeah, and that's how you know it's working. And not only that opened up opportunities for you to still show off your expertise and your responses.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh, well, this is why action works.
Yeah. Like as soon as I got an angry woohoo mob showing up on my post, I was like, looks like flying my freak flag and just being completely me unfiltered works.
It totally worked. Yeah. So I am so thrilled that all of this is working out with everything and that you're feeling better with it. And I'm looking forward to the continued watching you
Success.
grow with this
Growth.
stuff. Yeah, growth and watching your content. Because I just, even in the last few, about months since you've really been doing this, the change in your content is so different from what you used to post. I mean, and here I am, your ideal client. It's resonating with me now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not, I don't think it was resonating fully with me before, but I got to know you through Boomerang Your Business, and that built my confidence in working with you. But as a result, your content now is really resonating with me. So you're hitting your ideal clients now.
Yeah.
And I happen to know 2 or 3 other people who have said the same thing to me. So
yeah, I'm really happy. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So do you have one more big takeaway that you would like to leave? And then we're going to hop off this.
About Boomerang Your Business, or in general, or what are we talking about?
Whatever you'd like people to leave. Yes, you could say, buy my chicken, Boomerang Your Business. But yeah, what would you think everybody was? Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, people who are sick and tired of following some kind of formulaic approach that some guru is cramming down their throat and saying you have to do exactly this way or else. If they're sick and tired of doing that, especially if it's not even working, which was the worst case scenario, which was with me, right? Because you have different levels. Like you might do it and it works, as in it does get you clients and income, but you just hate doing it, which means you're probably going to give up at some point if you hate it. But there's also a step below that, which is where I was at, which is I hated it and it wasn't even working. There was absolutely no reward in any way, not even a financial one. But yeah, they really should sign on to this course, because you will give them a framework basically, as opposed to a blueprint. And that sounds like semantics, but it's not, because you give them a framework that they can use to run their business in a way that works for them, as opposed to a very narrow blueprint that they just have to follow step by step.
Yes, and that I think is so important as well. Thank you for that. That's a great ending note. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Diakanastasis.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. You got time. You'll figure it out.
Before I see you in London, I will have it.
Oh yeah, good.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your thoughts and everything about working with Boomerang Your Business. And guys, if you need a public speaking coach, Nick is your guy to help you.
Yes, if you like action, as opposed to, we don't sit around and navel gaze. I teach you techniques that are straight from our playbook as actors. It's all about your voice, your face, your breathing. It has nothing to do with sitting around feeling yourself. Like none of that. It's all technique. It's not. There's no fluff.
I can concur. I know that, but you do get to make some really cool noises.
You do. You do get to have fun. I made it sound maybe more severe than it is. I'm just saying it's action oriented as opposed to feeling oriented.
Thank you so much, Nick.
You're welcome. See you around.
Ciao, guys.